What is up? And welcome in to Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood, the post-game playoff edition of Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. I am Jay Hood. Please leave your comments below about the Chicago Bears defeating the Green Bay Packers 31-27. I could not be happier that the Bears were able to pull this game out of nowhere. This is incredible that the Bears win the football game. We're presented by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines, the airline of choice for me, Jonathan Hood. At Southwest, we give you the power to control your Rapid Rewards balance. If your balance needs just a little love, you can buy Rapid Rewards points anytime, but it doesn't stop there. You can gift or transfer your points to others or donate them to charity. Talk about making someone's day. Southwest Airlines, a sponsor and a partner here with Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. The link for Southwest is going to be in this podcast, so make sure that you get a chance to click on it and see if it's for you. Let's celebrate the Chicago Bears defeating the Green Bay Packers 31-27. The Bears move on in the playoffs. This was vintage Bears football, wasn't it, Bears fans? And make sure you leave your super chats. Let's get your likes, shares, and your comments overall about this one. This was Bears football. The way they played in the first half, are they going to play down again? Are they just going to roll over and die? No. Once again, another second half comeback and a victory for the Chicago Bears. It happened. We beat the Packers. Not only do we advance, but we move on and we beat the Green Bay Packers. Just an incredible atmosphere at Soldier Field as we bring in my crazy cousin Wiley with his Fuck Green Bay t-shirt on, fresh out of the laundry, I'm sure. Cuzzo, another Bears victory from behind. But this one's even more special because it's the playoffs and we move on.
How you feeling, Cuzzo? How you feeling? I am never felt better. When the pressure is on, we know the Bears are not going to crack. Down 18 in the first half, lifeless, and they find a way to do it again. Ben Johnson said when in his opening press conference, he likes to beat Matt LaFleur twice a season.
Yes.
And he did it.
Oh.
And he did.
But it's the way the Bears do this to us all the time, right? It's the way that they do this. We got plenty of notes right now about the issues with Ben Johnson's coaching. We got issues about the way the Bears did not get the job done in the first half, how lousy they were defensively, how lackluster they were offensively. In the second half, the defense was completely different. Let's start with the defense first, because here's a defense that had a hard time being able to get off the field on third down, and Jordan Love was gashing him. And in the second half, it was a different defense. They kept them in the ball game.
God bless Dennis Allen. That second half, what was it? They started with four straight punts. Yeah, they made them punt 4 straight times. They kept the Bears in the game and gave the offense a chance to wake up. And when Caleb put on his cape at the end.
It's just unbelievable, though, that it happens again. It could happen a couple times in a season, and a handful of times in a season. 7 times in a season. I couldn't be happier for Caleb Williams and his leadership. Let's start there as well, because here's a guy that was frustrated, saying that, man, we could be much better than this. The game plan is the game plan. You've seen the Packers before, and the Bears they stood with it, man. As far as the running game, 93 yards rushing for the team as a whole. And then Colston Loveland just becomes that safety valve, right? He kept going to the tight end, 8 receptions for 137 yards for Colston Loveland, DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Luther Burden. They all had a part in this, Wiley, that they were all able to work. This is really the microcosm of Bears football, where it's not about one guy. It's not about one unit. It's how the team, certain parts of the team just is able to put this together to be able to win. And the Bears, not only did they win, but they beat the Packers. You know how big that is to beat the Packers in the playoffs? All the shit that the Green Bay Packers have talked. I've had so much class throughout the whole week. Kyle Wallace from ESPN Milwaukee, Ben Bruss from ESPN Milwaukee. I've had so much class and them taking shots at us. And I said, you know what? I'm looking forward to a good ball game. That was my reaction, because I had so much confidence, right? Almost arrogance that the Bears would bear the fuck down and win the football game. I was just so even keeled, 120/80 with the blood pressure, feeling good about, like, yeah, okay, we're gonna have a good game. Soldier Field, you've already beat them once, and you come from behind and beat them again. It's I'm sure it hurts the Packer fan for sure that the Bears won, but the way the Bears won. Again, when you felt comfortable in the lawn chair, thought you had the game in hand, right? Had the game in hand. All of a sudden, the Bears take care of it in the second half and they win the football game. Couldn't be happier for the Bears tonight.
No, it was a team win, because it was in the second half. You had the defense step up and get some crucial stops. You had the offense step up and obviously put some points on the board, and you had the special teams that was able to get some nice returns, put the Bears in really good field position, and then you had the Green Bay Packers miss 2 field goals and an extra point, and that was, and for all intents and purposes, that was the difference in the game right there. So hats off to the entire unit. Whatever I sent via text about Caleb Williams, please ignore it. I didn't mean any of it. But yeah, it was a great comeback win, and made much sweeter because it was the Green Bay Packers. Now we get to play our second playoff game at home.
Oh man, it just, again, there's so many things. I'm looking through the notes, and I think that one thing we got to mention is that, just like the last game against the Packers, this one too, the Bears took advantage of the mistakes of the Green Bay Packers. Just like the second game, right? It fell apart on the Packers in that second game from a special team standpoint, defense, offense, and the Bears capitalized. Same thing here, Wiley. So you miss a couple of kicks if you're McManus? How's that happen in that spot? How's that happen that you missed a couple of games? He did, and the Bears took advantage of that. And all of a sudden, when the Packers are picking us apart by throwing the ball over the middle and being able to get easy pitch and catch, all of a sudden the water got shut off of them offensively.
Yeah.
The water got shut off. And all of a sudden, those passes that they were doing, they were connecting to Dobbs and Golden and Reed and Watson. All of a sudden, their water got shut off because the defense tightened, because they went from man to zone and they were more effective. And then, of course, like I mentioned, the mistakes that were made by the Packers, they tightened. They choked the game away, and the Bears won at the same time. I'm giving full credit to the Bears, but also the Packers, the big, mighty Packers, they always try to talk down to us. They made mistakes down the stretch, and they lost the football game. So there you go, man. Just like, we're moving on because we're on our way to the next level of the playoffs, but we got to swim in this. We got to backstroke in this of beating the Green Bay Packers, because that tells the story, sir. Tells a story of how good this Bears team is. The resolve this whole season, when they do the yearbook, whenever this thing ends after the Super Bowl, they could be able to tell the story of the resolve of this football team, because that's what it's been. 7 come from behind victories. It's been awesome.
No, and I think that's why the Bears won this game, honestly, because they have experience. They have a lot of experience. Even the past couple of games against the 49ers and the Lions, it was a comeback. They had came back in the game and just came up a little bit short. So they've been used to coming back all season. So when they were down by 18 in the first half, it was like, oh, no problem. We'll go back in the second half and we'll score enough points. We'll get some stops and we'll find a way to win. And they got 28 points in the second half. And that obviously put them in position to win the game. But the Packers, on the other hand, they haven't been in this position. And when they are in a position, they usually lose the game. So you have a Packers team that ended the season with 5 straight losses. And they lost 7 out of their last 11 games. So you're talking about a Packers team that was spiraling, and a Bears team that was just gaining confidence with each game, each performance, each comeback. And even when it was tight at the end, you knew they still believed, and they delivered it in the end.
We see your comments, and also we'll take your super chats as well. Make sure you leave your comments and go right through the super chat so we can put you right to the top. Thank you so much for checking out the Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood post-game playoff party with my crazy cousin Wiley. If you have not seen the stream before, we come on after every Bears game talking to you about the Bears, but it's a playoff edition, and we see our colleague at Under the Hood, Charles Taylor, he says, my blood pressure is going through the roof, but it's worth it. Would have come from behind win. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's just, but we've seen it before. But again, it's because the playoffs, it means so much better. It means so much more. And it's so much better to do this against the Green Bay Packers because you're sending a message, Wiley, when you do this, right? You're sending a message to the North that you're the Kings of the North. You're number one, and we're going to knock out the Packers on our way to the next level of the playoffs. We've got, thank you very much, Lily Umper, who's checked in. He says the team's going to give me a heart attack. Let's fucking go. Thank you very much for your donation of $2.99. I appreciate that. One of the super chats that we have here. Yes, I know, Umper, you need to be able to check your blood pressure through the game so you don't be carried out in a gurney. They've been doing this all season, though, so it should be no surprise, right? I'll tell you this, Wiley. My heart started really thumping with 2 minutes left in the ball game. It wasn't while the Bears were down big. It was at the end because Jordan Love still had the ball in his hands at the end of the game. And because maybe he could have been able to get, the defense wasn't going to get after him and sack him and knock him down. But I thought that maybe there was a possibility for him to take a shot to the end zone for a touchdown, and it didn't happen. So overjoyed about that. That's really cool. I was very concerned at the end. I wasn't concerned first, second, and third quarter, but that late in that fourth quarter, there was an opportunity for the Packers to win that football game, and they did not.
You know what? Because of I think it was the fourth quarter after the I want to say the Jacobs fumble on the kickoff that wasn't recovered by the Bears. I started to okay, this is maybe our luck or our fortune has run out because we're talking about there were 3 fumbles the Bears had an opportunity to recover, and they failed to recover all 3 of them. And that hasn't happened at any point during the season. So I'm like, 3 fumbles, we didn't get the ball back. I'm not giving up yet, but that may be it. Because usually we'll get a fortunate bounce here, a fortunate bounce there. We didn't need the fortunate bounces. We lost a turnover battle. We was 2-5, 1-5 in the red zone at one point, and on fourth down, and we still found a way to overcome all of those things and win the game. So it was huge, and you can feel the fans in Soldier Field through your television. And that's the atmosphere that you want, and that's why you win the North. You get at least one home playoff game, and in the case of the Bears, we get 2, at the very least 2, and you have the fans to help will you back to a victory like that. It was a collective win from the fans, the coaches, to the players, and the Packers helped out as well. So I'm very fortunate, want to thank the Packers for giving us that opportunity.
Let me just say this. Out of all the comeback victories, this was the biggest that they'd had to overcome because you had to overcome coaching too. All of a sudden, the head coach thought he was playing Madden, Ben Johnson. And listen, I understand he comes from Detroit and he's a riverboat gambler, but on your own end on fourth down and you turn the ball over because you're not sharp offensively, sometimes as a young coach, and I say this all the time, but it goes over some people's heads. While you have to understand, Ben Johnson's a first-year head coach too. Now, it's not like he comes in here with a 10-year experience. All right, on fourth down, we'll go for it here, but we won't go for it there. No, he just kept hitting the button like he's playing Madden next to us, right, with the controller, saying no matter what, 4th and 6, 4th and 8, 4th and whatever, we're going to go for it because we're going to be aggressive. Hey, man, look, those were bad calls, and he did not have a good game. So this is why it meant so much to win this game is because of the questionable calls by the head coach, because of the lack of emotion defensively, where even Kirk Herbstreit said, the defense could show a little bit more gumption, could have a little bit more effort defensively. When the offense was just so lousy, that second half, it just flipped on its head. So all the things that they were going through in the first half, in the second half, they kept chipping away, taking advantage of the Packers' mistakes, and they end up winning the football game. So for me, this is the biggest one out of all the ones that we've seen, and we've seen some tremendous come-from-behind victories. But this one, not only the biggest, but I think a lot more to overcome to be able to win this one tonight.
No, it was evident in the first half that this was Ben Johnson's first game as a first playoff game as a head coach. It was Caleb's first game as a quarterback, first playoff game as a quarterback, and we saw like countless drops from Loveland to Komet and a couple others that you can tell they were a little tight. They were a little tight, so they were able to calm down in the second half and bounce back. But if the Bears would have lost this game, you could have pointed to the performance of Caleb and Ben Johnson, because they both struggled for a large chunk of the game. But, because they figured it out in the end, we can all celebrate, even though, we know the struggles, and hope that, next game and the game after next, they can build on what they did in the second half. We have to score touchdowns, though, Cuzzo, in the first half. I mean, really, we can't be talking about, a Bears team that scored 6 points total against the Green Bay in the first half of the 3 games, 6 total.
Yeah,
of 3 games,
three tonight. Yeah, the field goal in the first quarter, and then nothing in the second, 3 in the third, and then 25 in the fourth. That's how the game went.
Yes. And that's it. We're talking about a Bears team that scored over 60 points in the second half of the Green Bay games, but only 6 points total in the three games in the first half. You can't do that and continue to win, especially against some of the better teams coming up in the playoffs. So the Bears are going to have a home playoff game either against the 49ers or the Eagles. So
we'll see.
Take advantage.
I'm not there yet. I ain't there yet. I gotta watch that game tomorrow, but I'm just so happy with people checking in with us on the post-game show here. Peter Burke says the defense needs to carry some of this over. The offense had more chances that need to be cleaned up. We didn't have the turnover magic, and it didn't matter at the end. No, you're right, because the slogan for Chicago Bears football, Peter, should be Chicago Bears football, find a way. That's it. That should be called that's what it is. Just find a way to win, right? 25 points in the fourth quarter is just amazing to me. That's amazing work by this Bears team. So please continue to comment, put your super chats in as well, so we could be able to talk to you about this unbelievable victory. Anthony Stevenson is always checking in with us. We appreciate him and the Iceman. I have not called Caleb Williams the Iceman yet. I have not said that on any of my platforms, but it is ice in your veins when you are able to just get through the fourth quarter and win the football game. I mean, I have not called him Iceman yet, but I think I can starting tonight, Cuzzo. Iceman, Caleb Williams, and the Bears win the football game.
I don't know, Cuzzo. I think he did a little more than that. He got off the boat and walked on water, at the end of the fourth quarter. So, that was a godly finish to the game. What was that? 16 points and 15 points in the last 2 drives. So like it was big. But to your point earlier, when I saw there was a minute 48 left, I was like, did we leave too much time on the clock?
Yeah, man.
Did we leave too much? I was like, they got one timeout though. But here's the thing though, that pressure busts pipes. And we saw Love, with the ball in his hand, fumble that snap, and that for all intents and purposes, it cost him the game on that last play, because it was the pressure. It was the pressure, and that's why despite his parents wanting to give him the first name Jordan, you got to earn that shit. You didn't earn that name. You did not earn that name. And we've seen repeatedly in the playoffs, you come up short. So that's the reason why I would never use his first name, because he didn't earn that shit. He didn't earn that. They tried to make him clutch. No, we gotta see you be clutch, and we've seen you choke for the last 3-4 years in the playoffs, because it just ain't in you. It's not in them. We got one.
It was a good day for Chicago sports. The Bears win, Bulls won their game, the Hawks won, the Cubs signed Alex Bregman. I have a video on that. I've not posted it yet because it happened right at like 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The video's ready. I just haven't posted it on Under the Hood yet, but I do have some thoughts on that, Terry. Sox didn't do something stupid. That's true. Heck of a night for Chicago sports. UIC Flames head coach Rob Easton with his 100th victory as a head coach. They beat Illinois State today. So no, it's been a good day for Chicago sports. That is for sure. Continue to keep your comments rolling. Let's talk about this. This is not just some regular season game against just some other opponent. We should celebrate. And any Packer fan that you should stick it up their ass tonight. You should be able to tell them, like, this wasn't just a victory. This was a playoff victory. And it is weird, Wiley, that for all of the pageantry and all the history of Bears and Packers, it was the third playoff game ever between the Bears and Packers. All the history, right? So we will remember this one, that the Bears are not only the kings of the North, but also they are the hammer and the Packers are the nail. Two wins in the season, and the biggest one at Soldier Field. And there are no excuses for the Packer fan. There's no excuses. Don't accept it. When someone rolls out to you and says, we didn't have Micah Parsons, or we didn't have this guy on the offensive line, don't accept it. No. Because on our side of the ledger, there would be no excuses if we lost that ball game. No excuses. Outside of the stupidity from the head coach at times and some of the questionable play calling, there'd be no excuses if the Bears would have lost that football game. You're at Soldier Field. You got the fans behind you. You've earned a lot of these victories, so there'll be no excuse. So don't accept excuses from Packer fans. They lost straight up. They choked the game away. They had a huge lead. Think about this. We're talking about a 21-3 lead at the half, and the Bears scored 25 in the fourth. That's a choke job. Yeah. But taking nothing away from the Bears, but they choked that game away, the Green Bay Packers. So the Bears moving on. Wow, just an amazing effort by the Bears again in the biggest of moments.
Cuzzo, you're talking about Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson out on the field with canes. They're running around on the field with canes because they're trying to get back healthy, and Green Bay still couldn't do anything in the second half to put the game away. So, like, there are no excuses for them, because when you can't beat a disabled secondary, with the leads, you're talking about a head coach who may be looking for a job in the offseason, Cuzzo. So Matt LaFleur may be out of a job. And I would hate that, because I want to see Ben Johnson continue to beat Matt LaFleur twice a season, because that's really important for the organization.
That's right. That's right. He says he loves beating Matt LaFleur twice a season. Guess what? He beat him twice this season.
Mama Bear is up there smiling down, because her Bears beat the Packers. And, George McCaskey is probably crying right now because he hates the Packers more than anything. So it's going to be a great night in the McCaskey household as well.
We had an injury to Edwards, right?
Yep.
Edwards he was carted off, right?
Yep.
Yeah. How about George McCaskey and his hustle to run back there in the back to see about it? I mean, the game's going on. He's not in the skybox someplace. George is so different than the other McCaskies. He's just a strange bird, man. He's down there with the season ticket holders, talking to fans. He knows it's a big game. He's not up there in the box like Jerry Jones. He's down there, and he's running behind the cart, running to find out whether or not how the player's doing. That's love right there. A lot of owners are not doing that. You don't see Shad Khan with the big mustache from Jacksonville running behind the cart. George cares. He's a different cat from some of the other McCaskies, so I respect that.
No, I do as well. Like Sycamore George, he's a real fan. He's a real fan, and you can tell his meatball comes out when it's about the Packers. So I'm sure this game meant a lot to him, and you can tell he cares about the players. He cares about the organization. He's just been an incompetent executive, and that's what we want to see him improve at. So I like 50. Caleb Williams is the Iceman. As someone who is like a Drake hater. I don't want to use Iceman for Caleb because, with the Drake album coming out, it's a bad name, Caleb. Pick a different one.
Let's see. Gino's checking in. Gino says, Hood, thank you for all the content this year. Can't wait for Monday morning. Big Under the Hood follower. Thank you, Gino. I appreciate it. I'll speak for Wiley. We cannot be happier that everyone has been able to tell everyone about this channel and kind of a conduit to what I do in the morning on ESPN Chicago. But since I'm not on ESPN Chicago, that's why we come here, to be able to give you extra content, bonus content, Bears and baseball and NBA and college football and so much more. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. If you're here, if you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And we are presented by the fine folks over at Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines, they've got their Rapids Reward program. Make sure that you click the link when this podcast is over. So just check it out. This is good for not only for you, but also family, friends. If you want to donate some of your Rapid Rewards numbers are there as well. Southwest Airlines, a proud partner of Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. We're going to hear from the head coach for the Chicago Bears, Ben Johnson, momentarily, but I want to get your thoughts about the offense overall, because we got to go through the numbers in a little bit. But what did you think of the operation in the second half? Some of the weapons that Caleb utilized.
No, I thought in the second half it was. Well, let me take that back. In the fourth quarter, it was excellent. In the second half, in the third quarter, there were a lot of stalled drives. We settled for field goals instead of touchdowns. So I would have preferred the touchdowns over the field goals. But in the fourth quarter, it was just unbelievable performance by everyone across the board. Just clutch. And you look at the stats, like I said, you would think the Bears would have lost that game based on the stats. We turned the ball over more. We lost the turnover battle. We just failed a lot on fourth down. We didn't score in the red zone, and we still found a way to win that game. Despite the stats. So despite not getting turnovers, despite the ball not bouncing our way like it has in a few games during the season. So it was an excellent fourth quarter performance by the offense. But I would love to see them next game, be great for 4 quarters. We've been saying that all season too.
Lily Umper says, is this the Bears coming out party, beating their biggest rival in the playoff game? It certainly is, sir. It certainly is their coming out party. Again, regular season magic, it's been fantastic. But doing on another level in the playoffs is something completely different, which I think is just completely just awesome for the Bears. It's what we saw tonight was very similar to the games we saw in the regular season. But when you take on the Green Bay Packers and you do that in, again, I guess a division rival, I'll tell you again, for those that weren't listening to me all week, and we talked a lot about this on Under the Hood. So, Wiley, I know that for many, like, this is the Super Bowl. Anytime you play the Green Bay Packers and you beat the Packers, it's Super Bowl. But the Super Bowl is a Super Bowl. That takes place in February. Tonight was not the Super Bowl. But for some Bears fans, like, Green Bay sucks. Just beat them. Beat them twice a year. It's like winning the Super Bowl. It's not like winning the Super Bowl. Winning the Super Bowl is like winning the Super Bowl, okay? That when you actually hold up the trophy, that's the Super Bowl. My whole point this week is that tonight could have been against the Eagles. Tonight could have been against San Francisco. Could have been against Seattle. If the Bears would have won a playoff game in year 1 of Ben Johnson and year 2 of Caleb Williams, we also would be celebrating. It just happened to be the Packers. And it's actually extra sweeter that it's the Packers, but it does not make this game bigger than if you would have taken on any other team in the NFC. Just to get to the next level, to get to a chance to play in the Super Bowl matters. It just happened to be the Packers, and I'm glad it was. But here's the thing. When you beat the Packers and you have Packers friends or people in your neighborhood, hey, down the street there's an old Packer fan, Wiley. Old Packer fan that lives down the street. And he talks shit about the Bears 12 months out of the year for no reason. Bears said they ain't going to lose no more. And I just ignore him now. I just ignore him. It's just like, nice guy, nice neighbor. But he's a Packer fan, and I don't understand the origin. Like, he's from here, but somehow he's a Packer fan. He's one of those guys, as you well know from back in the day, that just gave up on the Bears after Walter retired. Like after Ditka was fired. It's one of those guys. Like I'm not with him no more, so I'm gonna go to the other side. No problem. Do you. But here's the thing. Beating the Packers, I want it to be so ordinary that they're just another team. I want it to be so regular on a regular basis that just like it was in the 80s, that the Packers are just another team. Now, I'd like for that to happen because the NFC is so much bigger than the Packers. It is for me. It is just getting to the trophy, getting to the championship. That means more to me than any win against the Packers. I'll celebrate tonight, and I'll celebrate that last game that we played in the regular season. But man, it is a little more sweeter tonight. But I want the Bears to keep moving, no matter who the opponent is. Is that fair?
No, it is. It's definitely fair. Like if you see.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, big game, but I mean,
neighbor just way better.
Go ahead, cousin.
No, we have bigger fish to fry than beating the Green Bay Packers. So it's a nice win, but we're looking to advance in the playoffs and get to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl. Like that's what's important to us. It's not just beating the Packers. This is the new era of Bears football.
Yeah, so this is great. We're gonna hear from Ben Johnson a little bit because I think he's stepping to the podium now. I'm looking at a monitor here to the right, and he's gonna speak. I'm sure that locker room. I've not seen the good, better, best. It must be unbelievable in there. Everyone must be naked in there right now. It must be. It must be. It's got to be nuts in there. I have not seen it yet, but I would imagine this is going to be X-rated in here. It's a lot of probably F Green Bay and like the cheese grater hats on. I'm sure it's ridiculous in there now. I've not seen it, but I'm sure it's special tonight.
But they should though, because all that shit that Green Bay was talking during the week, Jacobs and Nixon and all the guys talking about, oh, we won in Chicago. Well, you got Chicago, and you got that ass whooped in the end. Like you choked because you couldn't handle the pressure we were putting on you in the fourth quarter, and you cracked. And now you're going to have to spend the offseason dealing with that and possibly looking for a new head coach because LaFleur may be out.
We've got some more super chats. Anthony, I know you don't want me to post this, but I'm going to post it because I can't. Wiley and I can't thank you enough for the $10 super chat. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Thank you very much, Anthony. It's very kind. And you can leave your super chats as well. Leave a question so we can delve into some topics here. Peter Burke says, yeah, every bar past 2:00 tonight, and not just the fun ones. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yes, Peter. We know which bars you're talking about. Yes, very much so. Gino, you should call ESPN Milwaukee tonight. Call Steve Homer True and Mark Tauscher. Call them. All that talk. Yeah, that the deep coordinator said to their media, see you all next week like it was an automatic win. Yeah, call them.
Yep.
Yeah, make sure. Yeah, I support you. I appreciate you listening, but if you call ESPN Milwaukee, tape the call and send it to me and Wiley. We want to hear what that sounds like. So talk your talk. You talk your talk. Again, that's part of the rivalry, so I'm all good for that. So all good. Please do that. They choked on the cheese, says Kevin JL.
That's it.
That's exactly right.
That's it.
Oh man, Packers look like OU against Alabama, like OU was up 17.
Yeah.
Right? The Super BHS says that the Bears have scored 51 against the Packers in the fourth quarter and overtime, 20 points in all the other quarters combined. Like, it makes no sense still. Why? How does this happen? Oh, my God. Yes, Gino also reminds me to get your Under the Hood merchandise. I know that you have yours, or I know very special people in your life have it. Probably wearing it instead. And unlike you, Wiley, sure you loan yours out to the ladies. So check it out. Yeah, we've got the hoodies and we've got the t-shirts as well. We got the trucker hats. We've got the mugs. And unfortunately, the ladies around Wiley, they don't have the women's gear. They're wearing his stuff. But check out the merchandise for Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Is available right now. It's in my bio in my link tree. Make sure you check it out because, hey, you support this podcast, you subscribe to this podcast, wear it on your body. Let people know what's the best podcast. It's Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. We're going to hear from Ben Johnson in just a second.
And what I also appreciate about I've seen a lot of the Under the Hood photos that you're sharing with Cuzzo. Keep those coming. Whether it's a hoodie or a t-shirt or a mug, keep sending those photos to Cuzzo, and he'll continue to share them on social media because he appreciates your support, and obviously he's going to continue to pump out great content, whether it be on ESPN or his Under the Hood channel.
Yeah, CJ says, Drake hater. Always knew you're a good dude. Since you called out Drake that way. Absolutely. I mean, who are the Drake supporters these days? I think Kyle is going to be able to join the show again. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah. So Kyle Wallace, good brother, just confused, right? I don't know if you've seen any of this content this week. This has been a very trying, long week, but a labor of love to be able to do a lot of interviews leading into this game. If you missed those interviews, they're archived. We've done a lot of content here, and rightfully so, because it's a big game, Bears and Packers in the playoffs. Kyle Wallace, I invite on because I like to troll the troll, Wiley, as you well know. I'm not a guy that's a yeller and a screamer all the time because anyone can do that. That's a dime a dozen broadcaster or fan. Anyone can yell. I like to troll the troll, and that's what I was doing with Kyle Wallace. It was one of those situations like, oh, we're playing with house money. You're the mighty Packers, man. You're the mighty Packers. I mean, we're just a little team in Chicago, so you should beat us down. And like he has all this bravado and all this talk and doesn't have a lot of class, unfortunately, Kyle. Just doesn't have a lot of class. Because you know, when you analyze, you look at your team, you look at the opposition, you give credit to the other team sometimes on good. He doesn't give the Bears any credit on anything because he hates the Bears so much. And I was just like, dude, you need to calm down. And so when Gino says, will Kyle Wallace join the show again? No, he will not join the show again until next season. There's no need to talk to him.
Next year. Yeah.
There's no need to talk to him. We're the Kings of the North, so I don't need to break down the Packers with him. So I'm all good with that. So let's and so Curtis Jackson says Loveland gets the game ball for him. There's no question that Loveland was fantastic. And by the way, while we're here, we're going to hear from Ben Johnson a little bit. It's ready to go now. But first, we should go through the numbers. And I want to find out from you, Cuzzo, what stands out most for you as far as the numbers are concerned with this one. As the Bears win, not just a win, but a win in the playoffs against the Green Bay Packers. Let's take a look, Cuzzo, the numbers for this one. So Caleb Williams, 24 for 48, good for 361 yards. Cuzzo, we could have used those 361 against the Lions so he gets 4,000 yards, right? So you got he could have used it there, right? So 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, sacked 1 time. The running game, 93 yards on 28 carries for everyone that's rushing the football, led by DeAndre Swift, who got a touchdown. Good to see him back in the end zone. Some hard 27 yards for Kyle Monangai, 8 for 27. Caleb Williams ran the football 4 times for 20 yards. Receiving, Colston Loveland, as Curtis Jackson just said, for him, that he's the guy. There's no question about that Loveland was fantastic in this game. He was a safety valve for Caleb Williams. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, Loveland, DJ Moore, both of those guys were mostly reliable. Like, there were a couple drops by them, but overall, they were really reliable. We really have to get the run game going back again because of like the past few games, or probably like the past month or so, it hasn't been what it should be. And it was the same way today. We're talking about Moore with 4 yards to carry, Monangai with 3 yards to carry. We need a little bit better than that to continue to win in the playoffs. And obviously, Caleb needs to be more accurate with the ball when it comes to passing. But you're talking about a Bears team that, produced 445 yards of total offense, and possessed the ball for 32 minutes, turned the ball over, but still managed to win the game. What they did really well, though, Cuzzo, they didn't get penalties, and that was really the difference in the game. The Packers had 7 penalties for 65 yards. The Bears had 2 penalties for 15 yards. 5 yards. I'm sorry. So we're talking about a Bears team that played disciplined, and when it came to penalties, and despite the third down and fourth down failures in the red zone failures and the 2 picks by Caleb, one was kind of a punt, so I was okay with that. They still overcame all of those things and beat the Packers despite trailing by 18 at halftime, and I believe double digits 15 points going into the fourth quarter. So no complaints. Just all the complaints I had written down, I burned them. If you can delete those text messages that were being sent during the game.
Yes. We know what it's like to delete text messages.
I appreciate that.
I read the news.
To be a Bears fan.
Yeah. I read the news, Wiley. I know what it is to delete text messages. I know about that very much. So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very familiar with that. Loveland, 137 yards and 8 carries, 8 receptions. DJ Moore, 6 for 64 with a touchdown. DJ Moore dropped pass, but was able to come back and give you the key touchdown, right? That shows you like the up and down of this game, that you can, again, shorthanded, got to catch that football, and then but comes through for the Bears with that touchdown. Roma Dunze returned 2 receptions, 44 yards. He's salty. Luther Burden, 3 receptions, 42 yards on 7 targets for him. DeAndre Swift, key also in the passing game with a couple of receptions. And again, 361 total for the Bears and 24 receptions for the Chicago Bears. As we get ready to hear from now Ben Johnson, the head coach for the Chicago Bears. Finally, I think they're done with the good, better, best situation. I think they put their clothes back on to be able to talk to the media now, because I'm sure it was crazy in there, right? Keep your super chats going, by the way. Thank you so much for your contributions to Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. My crazy cousin Wiley, I'm Jay Hood. So we'll continue our post-game show here by hearing from the head coach for the Chicago Bears, Ben Johnson, as the Bears win in the playoffs against the Green Bay Packers 31-27.
Fracture, which will take him out for the rest of the season here. And then Ozzy sounds like he has a patella tendon, which will likely do the same thing for him. So we'll see what those guys are like tomorrow, just to be sure. But it doesn't look good for either one of those guys. Man, it goes without being said. That's just an incredible job by all the people in this building. Players, coaches, support staff. To do what they just did with the stakes as high as they were, and knowing that it's win or go home at this point, down 21-3 at halftime, and defense bowing up like they did in the second half with a number of 3 and outs, and then the offense coming to life, and finding a way to get us enough points in the fourth quarter there. I think that's 25 points in the fourth quarter was a huge deal, and it's really who those guys are now at this point. We got a group of guys that just they don't waver. The odds are stacked against us, and despite the fact we don't like that score at halftime, nobody does. No one envisioned the first 30 minutes going that way, and yet we just keep plugging along and we keep fighting, and we've proven that this year. That's who we are. That's what we do here at this point. So. With that being said, I'll go ahead and open it up.
You've seen this all season. See it again tonight. Are you just amazed by what this team can do?
Yeah, I think it's our identity here at this point, and some people say it's not sustainable. I don't know. It's the takeaways are that's who we are on defense, and on offense, it's explosive plays. That's kind of what we've done all year long, and coming up in big moments. And as a team, it's just resiliency and knowing that late in the fourth quarter, that's really when we're at our best as a football team. So we'll keep striving to be better earlier in games and starting faster and all that. But that's gives us something to work towards. But I can't be any more proud of this crew than I am right now.
When your team was down 21-3 at half, and obviously you've been in these positions before throughout the season, but understanding the stakes, what was your message to your players?
Well, the one thing that we had done during training camp was we had shown the film of the Atlanta and New England game and the Super Bowl from, was that 2016? I can't remember what year that was, but we have two players on our roster that were part of both those teams. Grady was with Atlanta and Joe Tooney was with New England. And it was just great to get perspective from both of those players of how that game went down. And I think it's just a good lesson to be learned that, it's 28-3 in the middle of the third quarter. And yet, the game still being played and there's a lot of time left. And that was my message to the group, was just reminding them that this has been done before. And rather than saying, woe is me and, oh crap, we're in a hole. It's more, this is a great opportunity for us to turn this thing around into a game that we'll never forget. And that's what they did.
Is that as emotional as you've seen Caleb this season? And how did you and him get on the same page?
Emotional during the game or after the game?
During the game, he was extremely fast on the sidelines and very vocal.
Yeah. It's something that we'll talk about. I think he and I both, we want to be, try to be as stoic and steady for our guys as we can be. And, I'll talk to him and see if he felt like he could have handled anything any better than what he did. But, we all came in with high expectations on how this game would go. We certainly didn't think, we'd have 4 possessions in the first half and only have 3 points to show for it. And so you do get a little bit disappointed when something like that happens. And yet, that you're going to have opportunities down the road as well, in the second half, which we did. So as always, Caleb came through for us. He made some big time throws in some critical situations. Guys made some big catches. Guys up front protected. I mean, you get in that spot where you're down a little bit and you got to throw it a little bit more and you need the big guys to bow up and give us a clean pocket. And, it took the entire offense to get that job done.
The one play at a time kind of mantra, they said that at halftime, just one play at a time. Is it hard in a playoffs atmosphere when you're down that much to get your guys to stay in it, to believe in it? And what allows this group to buy in and believe?
Yeah, well, I mean, every team's different, but certainly it seemed to resonate with those guys, and they did a great job. I mean, the only way you come back from a deficit like that is one possession at a time, trying to get more points on the scoreboard, continuing to hold them and getting the ball back for the offense. Special teams played a major factor in this game as well throughout. And so, you got no other choice. You're not going to get it all back all in one shot. And so, you just keep plugging along. And I think we had a couple field goals to get us going a little bit. And then the touchdowns eventually, broke the dam and ended up coming up big for us.
And what was different about your defense in the second half?
It's something I'll have to look at if we're doing anything different. I don't think schematically we weren't. We're sticking to the plan, but I do think our guys were certainly doing a good job getting off the field on third down. We weren't doing that a whole lot in the first half. We had some opportunities, and it's a really good offense on third down, and they certainly were in the first half. And that was kind of the story there for most of the game, I thought.
So the thoughts there from Ben Johnson, the head coach for the Chicago Bears. Talking to the press as we are presented by Southwest Rapid Rewards, Southwest Airlines. It is the airline of choice for me personally, Jonathan Hood. Make sure you check out that link. That helps the show a lot. If you check out that link after the podcast is over, click it. Just see if it's for you. Southwest Rapid Rewards, bringing us the Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood post-game show. So some thoughts from Ben Johnson. So no Ozzie Trapillo for the rest of the season because of the injury that he suffered. And also the linebacker is going to be out as well for the rest of the season. Edwards, right? He's going to be out as well. You're muted, sir. You were saying.
that sucks for Ozzy. That he's going to be out for. He was actually struggling a lot today, but it sucks that he's going to be out for the rest of the playoffs. But it's nice that Braxton Jones has gotten healthy, so he should be able to back up Theo, and that's going to help because the Canadian Eagle has been big for most of the season. So that's useful. Cousin, who's the reporter? I think every game she's like the therapist. How are you feeling? Like, was Caleb too animated? It's a fucking football game. What do you expect? It's the playoffs. Like how should he behave? This is not golf. This is football. Stop asking those same fucking questions every week.
You heard me. I think you heard me gasp through that, right? Just the whole thing of how talk about the sideline decorum of Caleb Williams. You're losing the game. Could he just be calm in a lawn chair throughout all that? Just like, and you know what, Ben, give Ben credit. He had no idea what she was talking about. She has no, because Ben wasn't over in that area. He's out there just looking at the field, right? So you could see, like, she's talking about what she saw in the press box on the monitor of Caleb Williams yelling and just like, not necessarily going after his team, but kind of motivating the team. What about the emotions? The emotions of Caleb Williams. What was that? And Ben has no idea what she's talking about. Like, that means nothing. Like, why? How about the game? We're so caught up in emotions and like the telegenic look of the game. How about just talk about the game? How about a question about the game? How about that? How about the injuries? Can we talk about that? It annoys the piss out of me as well. It does, because it's just a waste of a question.
Yeah, it is. I was going to say it's a waste of a question every week. It's at least one of those. It's like, do you realize that you're covering a violent sport, a competitive sport where you have a bunch of men and coaches who are emotional just by the nature of the game. So when you see an animated Caleb on the sideline saying, "Hey, put the ball in my fucking hands," I kind of want my quarterback to say, "Put the ball in my fucking hands," because if he's like, "Hey, just give it to DJ on some trick play," or let Cole Kmet throw a pass. No, he's like, "Put the ball in my fucking hands," and I understand that. So yeah, just do better, be better, because that isn't getting it done.
Panama Rick checks in. He says, let's not forget DJ Moore getting banged up early when he got rolled up on while setting a great block on first down. So true about that. J Hood was on it before anyone else. DJ is the toughest on the team. He is tough. And it's funny, I was working with Carmen DeFalco this afternoon. We did a pregame show as well this morning from 11 to 1, and toward the end of the show, that was a question that was asked. Carmen asked me, he's like, what do you think about DJ Moore next year? I go, well, it's hard to get that guy off the team now. While Roma Dunze was out, that guy, he did everything and has been doing everything all season. There's going to be some drops here or there, but he's never blocked more, Cuzzo, than he has this season. He's never did the little things, the dirty work, realizing that he ain't going to have like 10 receptions. He's a wide receiver, but on this offense, you must block. Even Caleb Williams threw a block to be able to spring one of his guys for an extra first down. He got his nails in there, and he did some good things for the Bears to be able to help out the Bears' cause. So everyone is able to put their body on the line to help their brother next to them. So I like that. So it's hard to say, hey, DJ, thank you for all the blocking. Thank you for all the beating that you took. And without being able to get 1,000 yards, see you later. That's hard to push him out now because he is tough. He takes a beating and still comes to play. I appreciate it for sure.
No, he is. He is. He plays hurt and injured just about every game. He gives you everything he has. Like obviously, there's some drops, there's some mental errors that happens. But yeah, like you want a guy who's out there on the field, who's constantly fighting, and DJ fights. And it was, to your point about Caleb, it was nice when swift reverse field to see Caleb sashay into the lane and get a key block to help Swift get a few more yards.
He did do that, yes. Yes, he did. We had someone asking about the next game, but let's move on here. Oh, by the way, so Panama says Southwest out of Midway, it's the way to go. Yes, it is the way to go, Panama. A lot of my travels come out of Midway. I'm a Midway guy. I'm a Southside guy. I'm not going all the way to O'Hare to travel someplace I could do in Midway. So Midway Airport, if they like to be a partner with Under the Hood, I'll be glad to take that too. But it's Southwest for now. And don't forget, since you brought it up, make sure you click that link. That only helps me and the show, so we can continue to have great partners like Southwest being part of this podcast. So Ellie Barr says, how do you think the Bears would handle Seattle? Well, we got to see if Seattle can win that first game, their first matchup, right? We're going to see.
Yeah.
But right now, the focus is Philly or San Francisco. Bears already beat Philadelphia on Black Friday, and then played tight against San Francisco. Lost the ball game, but played tight there. But I just before I can even think about breaking down the matchup, I'm just like really happy for the Bears to rally, because it's just different. The playoffs are different. Like, as much as we want to push the regular season to the side, because I'm saying the regular season, that's a whole different animal. Now it's the playoffs. The Bears played hard. They played hard definitely in the second half. And for whatever reason, the Packers let off the gas, and they started making mistakes, and they started panicking. And the Bears put up 25 on them. And then Green Bay can only score 6 points in the second half. And also could have been able to add more with extra points or whatever, but their kicker also trickled it down his legs, McManus. So more points and more defense. I wish that would have happened for 4 quarters, but it's the Bears. They always do it at the end. This is who they are, and this is why they've been so much fun.
It is. I mean, one of us are probably going to need an ambulance at some point during this season if this continues. But as long as they're winning, I'll take the wins however they come. So the great thing about winning this game is the Bears are positioned. Obviously, they're going to play the next game at home, and if the Rams find a way to beat the Seahawks, you're talking about the Bears having, being at home into the Super Bowl, which will be great for the fans and great against teams who are not used to playing in the Chicago weather. So let's keep it going.
Any more thoughts? I know there's still a lot of you that are in the chat. Thank you very much, Ivan from Glenview. Thank you for your support, for checking in on the podcast. This is where you can come right here. Like, we're doing our post game, but through the week we had some tremendous guests leading into this matchup, like Jason McKee, good brother, and Ken Davis and Wiley, and Kyle Wallace. He's still our little brother. He's just confused because he's a Green Bay fan and doesn't talk to people like me and Wiley to try to help him out. He needs a support system up there. Kyle Wallace. He needs a support system because he doesn't have a cousin Wiley or Jay Hood to talk to, and that's unfortunate. Living in Milwaukee,
No,
that's a shame.
But that happens. You fall into that sunken place when you live in places like Milwaukee and Green Bay. So we're going to help him get out of the sunken place one of these days.
Yes, you would know. You've dated up there. We go now to Wiley. Where are you? Oh my God, I've been waiting for you. Living in Waukesha. Oh my God. Felgen 23 says, y'all, D-Jack is better than Edwards. Well, D-Jack should have been utilized more. Like, when you got the linebackers back, there was no reason why Jackson was not put in the rotation. Like, he played well, came out of nowhere, and he was the green dot, which means like he's got to call the plays. And you put the helmet on, it's like, hello, I hear something in my head. Hello. Like, yeah, man, you're the ones got to call me. I got to call the plays. Yes. So when the Bears had a lot of injuries, a lot of the guys that were, this is why Nashawn Wright became a story. This is why Jackson became a story. Like, this is why you see these guys come in And again, another reason why, and I said it a million times, that with this Bears team, it's not about one person, it's not about one star. It's about a whole bunch of people that have come to be able to get the Bears to this level now. Good teams, really good teams, established teams, Wiley, as you well know, the star wide receiver, the star quarterback, the star, linebacker or defensive end. With this team, my God, man, it could be anybody. This is why this has been a special season for the Bears, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is. It's every week, there is someone new that's stepping up and finding a way to help the team win a game. And it's what you need. And I think this is sustainable. And I know Ben Johnson said people question if it is. I think it is. I think you have a team full of guys who believe, a team full of guys who are willing to sacrifice, and a team full of guys who don't need to be the man in every single game. They're fine watching their teammate, step up and carry the load. So I think this team can win 3 more games this season.
Oh, 3 more games this season, you say?
Yes.
Yes. There's one person. There he is. Horty Style 605 says, give us the Rams. Puka is the only target compared to Green Bay's next man up. Offense, and Stafford is not too proud to throw an interception or 3. Can I just be able to stay up all night and start celebrating? Can I just do that before we start breaking down matchups? You do you. You all do you. I'm going to celebrate the Bears being the Packers in the playoffs. It's so rare that the Bears and Packers play in the postseason. I will celebrate this. You can get your little X's and O's and do your simulations about the next matchup and who the Bears could play. Can I just enjoy tonight? Can I just do that? I got Wiley here, got him in the suit. He's already got Super Bowl tickets. He's all ready to go with his good, better, best t-shirt. He's the only guy that we have on here that does a dress rehearsal. He has an outfit on and then he changes in the middle of the podcast. No one else does that except my cousin. And this is why he's nuts, you see. I mean, he has a wardrobe just standing by. What is that? Now you went to a good, better, best t-shirt. You didn't wear that early.
Good, better, best. We're done with the Packers. We're moving on. So it's fuck Green Bay next year, but now we got more important things to focus on. We're focused on winning a game to get to the NFC Championship game, and the Packers aren't it. They're done. They're yesterday's news.
I guess so. I guess if you're going to do a wardrobe change, I guess that would be proper to do that because Green Bay not relevant. But I'm still going to just think about everything the Bears did to get there. I look at, I don't know who all got the game ball for the Bears. I would imagine Loveland got one. I've not seen the good, better, best video yet. I don't know if we're allowed to do that on YouTube. It'll come up soon, I'm sure. But if you're giving out game balls, Wiley, it's Loveland's getting one. Is Caleb getting one? He usually doesn't. It's funny, the relationship between him and Ben Johnson. He might get one quietly in the office the next day, but did he get one? Would he get one tonight?
Well, considering that the offense scored 25 points in the fourth quarter, primarily because of his arm, I don't think you can not give him a game ball. And if we're being honest, Ben Johnson may need to give him some of that $13 million salary this he earned this season for saving his ass because he was going to get torched if the Bears lost this game. And Caleb rose to the occasion again. So he should slide an envelope to Caleb as well as a game ball.
Caleb, Colston, and is there anyone else that would get a game ball for you?
Ooh.
Anybody on defense? Like, what about that tip by Montez Sweat, getting the arm, the elbow of Love late in the ball game? That's a key defensive play by Montez Sweat, right? Getting the elbow and making that ball go a different direction for incompletion.
Yeah, I guess you can give it to. I don't know if you can give it to anyone on defense because no one made a play that stands out. Like they played well as a unit in the second half, but no one made a game-changing play that stands out. So No, like I think you have to focus on Loveland and Caleb if you're going to give out game balls. You have to, if Caleb doesn't get one today, he'll never get one because 360 yards, 2 touchdowns, another fourth quarter comeback win. Yeah, he deserved the game ball today.
Panama Rick knows how to do it, you see. After he called his boy, lit a cigar, poured a glass of the brown stuff. And one thing for sure, Wiley loves the brown stuff. That is for sure. And so do I. I'm enjoying this win. I'll worry about the next matchup tomorrow. That's it. Man, I just like the matchup is what it is. I'm just glad that the Bears are able to come out on top. And by the way, as we talk about offense and defense, James gives us the key, says, hey, the Green Bay kicker missed his kicks, but Cairo made all his. It shouldn't be overlooked. Cairo Santos gets a bad name around here because he doesn't kick for like crazy distance like some of these newfangled kickers. As you know, Wiley, 58, 59, 60, like he just gets the job done. I said the other day, I don't think I've ever broken bad on Cairo Santos. Like the only problem I've ever had with him, it was like one of the regular season games late in the season when he told the sideline reporter, like, hey, I'm only good for 50 today because of the wind conditions. And I was like, don't tell anybody that. Man, let people know that you can kick it from everywhere. That's my only issue with Santos is that he was too honest with the media about a couple of games ago where he says, I'm only good for 50 yards or whatever. But otherwise, I haven't really had a problem with Cairo Santos. He's done the job.
I would love a bigger leg, and I would love the consistency that Cairo gives you from 49 in. But yeah, like over the past couple months, no issues with Cairo. At the very least, he's going to finish out the season. Hopefully, he continues to make big kicks. But I don't think it's unreasonable in next off season to either bring in some competition, with a bigger leg. But Cairo has been the man. Obviously the onside kick, the steadiness of kicking in the wind. He's earned my respect from what I've seen from him since the middle part of the season.
Cuzzo, as we close, we'll take your final comments, your thoughts about the Bears. Give us a key to the game for you, the Bears fan, for those of you watching Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. And by the way, as the broadcast continues, just continue to leave comments and messages so we can get your thoughts about this game with the Bears beating the Packers 31-27 as we are wrapping up. We like to let everyone know that our show is brought to you by Southwest Rapid Rewards. Let me tell you something. At Southwest, they give you the power to control your Rapid Rewards balance. If your balance needs a little love, you can buy Rapid Rewards points anytime. But it doesn't stop there. You can gift or transfer your points to others or donate them to charity. Talk about making someone's day. Go to Southwest Airlines. We have the link that's in the bio of the podcast. Make sure you click it. It only helps our show if you click that link because they are partnering with us and they expect you to click that link. So make sure that you do that. I love Southwest Airlines. They've taken care of me all over this country. So since they take care of me, I want them to take care of you. So that's why we get that link in the bio of the podcast. So Wiley, we got to talk again soon, man, because we got a matchup that we got to address. We'll find out who that opponent is on Sunday. But any final words, and also from the comments section, your super chats or just any comments about the Bears, we'll be glad to read them at the end of our podcast here. But this will be one of those nights you can't sleep because of everything the Bears did. You got to rewind that third and fourth quarter just to feel that moment again. Now that you know the ending, you don't have the heart attack as much, but it's worth watching again. That's for sure.
This is a resilient Bears team, and they're really fun to watch. So let's keep it going.
My phone's just blowing up from across the country. I got a lot of calls. I got a lot of text messages celebrating the Bears. But you know why? If I got a call, let me see, Bristol, Connecticut. So that's ESPN. I got one from Vegas. I got one from New York City. I got one from Dallas. I got one from El Paso, Texas. Amongst the text messages I got, that's all celebrating. A lot of the people that text me, some are Bears fans that we all know in our family and friends, but a lot of people that's in the business, and they love the Bears story. For them to text me is like, "Hey, I got the Bears, and can you believe that victory? Your team's unbelievable." It's because people appreciate what this team is. They can't believe that once again the Bears did the same thing, came from behind and won the game. 25 points in the fourth quarter is just incredible to me. It is, and to people that's texting. What are you getting on that side? What is Molly saying in Stevens Point? What is she saying? Is she? Do you have to drive up there to console her, the blonde? You had to take care of her. Is the fish fry open at the VFW, Wiley? Will that still be open while the Packers are done for the season?
Absolutely. It's bear down. It's bear down season right there. That's what it is. It's bear season everywhere. So you got to convert. You got to convert.
Oh, you're converting them up there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's conversion therapy, cuzzo.
Oh, I don't know if it's that. I mean, I guess that's one form of it. That's for sure. I don't know about that. This is why Wally's on, folks, because he says things I can't say because I got a career. So yeah, it's pretty special. That is for sure. Bears football is outdoors football. Yep, that's right. All right, cuzzo. Well, we're going to talk soon because we're going to find out the matchup. And if you're watching now, make sure you keep it locked. Subscribe to Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. So much content coming. We ain't stopping. We had a lot last week leading to this game. So we're going to keep it going. So many more guests, so much more content from Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. No mascot, right? Is the mascot, he's asleep, right? Is he even awake for this podcast, our mascot?
Well, we're gonna pause tonight, but we'll get him back at a later date.
Okay, so no mascot. So we're just gonna keep it going through the playoffs. No mascot. Keep the good time rolling. All right, all good.
Yes.
For Cousin Wiley, this is Jonathan Hood. Thanks so much for checking out Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Don't forget we got our merchandise as well. Make sure that you just check out the link in the bio. All the information's there. Never mind about what I'm saying. Just click the link. It's much easier for Southwest Airlines, and as well as all the merchandise and the podcasts we have for Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Bears win, beating down the Green Bay Packers. Let's go. 31-27. Thanks so much for checking out the Under the Hood podcast. So long, everybody. Bear down. Bear down.